Yes. Well, good evening, viewers. I'm happy to inform you that today we are going to have our fifth episode. We have started this journey of talk show for leaders, and this is our fifth, event. And we are glad that we have two eminent guests today who are a part of our, insightful discussion. And before that, I would like to, give you thanks for your quality time that you are all, investing and supporting us, promoting us. And at the same time, I'm also very much thankful to India Coaching Federation who have supported, who have initiated this particular talk show on AP Live. And this is also simultaneously it is being, viewed, broadcasted on LinkedIn as well as YouTube. So before we proceed with, I would like to introduce our guest for the day. To begin with, Dr. Dhirendra Gautam, he is a chairman of India Coaching Federation and he is an author, and he had excellent track record when he was associated with various multinationals as a CFO. And we have, it is a matter of privilege for us that, he has got that blessings for India Coaching Federation. And we are looking forward to learn a lot from Dr. Gautam, and we'll take this journey forward to the next level. Now, coming back to the second guest of the day, that we have none other than Prakash Thalia. Now, Prakash is having around more than 31 years of corporate experience, and apart from that, he is into coaching for last over 5 years. Prakash is a certified from ICF, and he also did a lot of other certification. He's also associated with eminent coaching organization at Israel, coach and mentor with Growth Space. At the same time, he's also associated with Chennai-based Talent Press, as a coaching support advisor. And of course, he is also EMCC certified practitioner team coach. And apart from a lot of credentials, and he's also eminent author. His first book on essentials of risk management has become the bestseller on Amazon. And over the short period, he has sold more than 500 copies. Especially, a lot of demand is coming from the corporate. So we have both the guests, eminent guests, with us today. We are going to have a theme called leadership excellence. As you are all aware that every Wednesday we come out with a different theme pertaining to the leadership. That's how the talk show, all leadership, is all about coming out with the perspective, the insightful thoughts of the eminent coaches who had their wide level of wisdom and the knowledge base as well as experience. And it is a matter of privilege for all of us to see that they come out with their perspectives in terms of a specific query that we are posing to them. So to begin with, we always say that certain businesses, they excel well, they outperform their competition, and at the same time they also look forward with time and consistently they are looking forward to excel in their businesses. That is possible only by virtue of the high quality and competitive people. And when this is happen, when we talk about self-managed team and so on, this is possible only such organizations, such business, they have the excellent and great leaders, and they are inspiring those people to perform well and perform at the outstanding level. So today we are going to discuss about leadership excellence. So to begin with, I would like to have the first question to Prakash about the organization's excellence and the success. Often we have seen there are organizations who have developed their own unique culture, work culture, and that promotes the leaders. And leaders, they when they take up the responsibility and accountability for their organization, for their businesses, they make sure that they take the organization to the next level. And this is how the people get absolute level of high oriented career path. They get the growth, there is a sense of satisfaction. And how this is possible, we would like to hear from Prakash in his own experience about how he had dealt with the leadership excellence. So Prakash would like to share your experience about leadership excellence and how a leader can create a difference for the organization. Over to Prakash.
So thank you very much, Suresh and Dr. Dhirendra Gautam. And Suresh, you have given me a very elaborative introduction about myself. I would not have introduced myself given an opportunity. So thank you for that. And yeah, as far as work culture and the leadership is concerned, our leadership excellence is concerned, it's very much required for a leader to have engaged their team. So that's very very critical. So I'm not going to talk anything about any rocket science that how the leadership excellence can be developed in an organization. It is the organizational atmosphere or the environment which makes a leader to come up to the expected level or a excellent level. One is in today's context, if I take all our leaders, I mean there is no heroism. Those days are gone. There is no one leader. All are leaders, but however, one person will excel and take the team along with him. So we call him as a leader, and there are different styles of leadership. I will not discuss that, but how a leadership excellence can be attained by any individual or a leader is, one is he should be a very good communicator, and more than the communication, he should be a very good listener, and that is where his qualities will show up. He should be a listener, and also he should be empathizer. He should empathize his team members and then get along with them. So that is where the team excellence or engagement of the team will come into the picture. So automatically the leadership excellence also will go side by side. And another thing is, he has to a leader has to take he should move on. He should move on, meaning what? He should take decisions and on the spot, and also the quick decisions which will help his team members also to align with him. So why quick decisions are required? It is because sometimes dilly dallying by a leader, by an organization, will demotivate the employees. And whether it is right or wrong, taking a decision is very very necessary. And if it is wrong, we can change the course, and if it is right, no one can stop. We can celebrate the milestone and then move ahead. So taking decision is very very critical. And he should be a creator, and he should be very creative in his thinking, so that even his team members also will be motivated to think out of the box. And today's context, even out of the box is also becoming outdated. It is no box thinking is coming into the picture. So that is where the leaders can excel themselves and also take their team along with them. And one more thing, important thing is how they can engage their team in this activity is the off late. Of course, in India, it is still taking time, but a leader as a coach, that is one thing which helps a leader excel in his own area, and also take the team along with him. That is because when the coaching comes in, so giving suggestions or giving guidelines, sometimes I have seen with my own experience that if somebody, if the down below, if some of the team members doesn't work or doesn't perform as per the expectation, the leader will step down and then do the work. So because he has that pressure that he has to report to the his higher ups. But instead of that, if you start asking the question or making the team members to think and find out their own potential and then do the work, so then the leader's position will be very safe, and then it will also be very very useful for his own team. And another important thing in leadership excellence is, what I feel is, he should align his team's goal and also to the organizational goal. So how he can align? He can align only with these activities, as I said, that communication, collaboration, co-creation, and all these activities which he can do as far as the leadership is concerned and as far as his team is concerned. So when he keeps his team by giving an opportunity, by delegating the activities, work to be done by his team members, then the team engagement will be very good, and that will be a very good booster for a leader for his excellence. So he can excel very well in his career. So that is what is my uh, comment or my expectation and my experience, which I have experienced how a leader can behave and behave with his own team members.
Well,
Hope I have
thank you.
answered your question,
Yes,
Suresh.
yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. I really appreciate the diversified views that you have expressed based on what are the different characteristics of a leader and how really a leader who is effective, in his own way of working can, create a transformation within the organization, and then along with the team, how we can bring the best for the business and organization. So very well said. So now it's over to Dr. Gautam. And before that, I would like to just brief, since he is a chairman of India Coaching Federation, and it's a privilege to listen to Dr. Gautam on various platform, various occasions. And I was one amongst them who got this privilege to listen to him, his variety of perspectives and the thought, because his experience working associated with global MNCs, leading MNCs, was awesome. And today, the kind of the work being initiated by Dr. Gautam, not only being a founder of India Coaching Federation, but this is the great relief for the coaches in India. Because whenever I used to find, in a drop-down menu, whenever some informations are asked, about what category that I belong to, always I used to found, and I never found, what do you call the coaches. So always I used to go and click on others. So thanks to coaching India Coaching Federation, now we got our own space, we got our own freedom, we got our own identity, and all credit goes to Dr. Gautam, because the whole idea is what to give the credentials and the representation to the coaches in India, and at Pan India, they get a solid, powerful platform. So thanks to you, Dr. Gautam, for creating such a wonderful platform for the coaches in India, and being host of the show, Suresh Shetty. It's my privilege to always listen to you. So I would like to have a privilege to have another insightful presentation from your side about leadership excellence in the context of the question which I have raised to Prakash. Over to you, Dr. Gautam.
Thank you, Suresh and Prakash. I think it's a really great question, and I would like to thank Prakash especially for elaborating and explaining the things in detail. Having said that, the question you have been asked, Suresh, it looks very small, but answer is it will take time to explain.
Yes.
It talks about leadership excellence. It talks about organizational culture, and then employee engagement to create excellence, leadership, and growth of the organization. So, if I start talking on all these three, it will take more than 3 hours. So
Yes.
let's focus on one by one, and we can continue with the same question in our next show, and we can focus on that. It is always very important for the viewers who are watching us on LinkedIn, Facebook, or YouTube to give a complete, end-to-end explanation for whatever we are talking and we are discussing. So let's talk first thing, the organization culture and leadership excellence. How to engage the employee, we will might be able to take it in the next part. Engaging the employee in the organization, we can cover in the next part. So organizational culture. Uh, when an organization starts growing, it's create an ecosystem, and that ecosystem, when organization becomes sizable, we call it organizational culture. The good part about the organization culture is that it is the culture who has helped the organization from the day one of starting the organization to reaching to a level where they are today, and they are in so much of size that they can call that we have a organizational culture in our organization. If an organization having only 5 people, what kind of culture you can have? You will always find that 3 people are always 6 months and below, so they are not part of the culture, and balance of the 2 peoples are just the owners of the organization. So we talk about organization culture in a sizable company where you have at least 100 people plus. So the good part about the organization culture is that they are the part of the success story of the organization. The strongest and the weakest part of this organizational culture is that, which very rare people recognize, that this organization culture start working as a immune system of the organization, and it create an obstacle for bad as well as the good thing in the organization. I will repeat it again. It works as an immune system who create obstacle for every external thing in the organization, whether it is good or bad. So when you want to introduce highly successful people, capable people in the organization at the senior level, when your company is grown, there is a high resistivity in the organization. Lot of old employees, they start creating problem for the new people. This is the key point. Another aspect is it resists good things, so management change becomes very difficult. And unless you have transformation or change is a continuous process in the organization, you cannot bring organizational excellence, and you cannot be a leadership with excellence. So in order to bring the excellence in the organization, transformation is required in the organization. Transformation at people level, transformation at process level, transformation at systems and technology level. Today, systems and technologies plays a very, very important role in the growth and success of the organization. So the biggest challenge for a leader is to create an organization and a culture where this kind of immunity doesn't becomes a resistive factor, obstacle to the good thing in the organization. And this is my practical experience for last 11 years, working with more than 200 companies from 100 crore to 20 lakhs crore kind of a company. I have seen how this organizational culture creates problem when you bring the transformation and change in your organizational structure, when you create better processes and system, when you implement better systems. One of my company where we provide consultancy is we are into SAP implementation. We are SAP partner for ERP implementation. Many organizations, they implement SAP or any big ERP system, any process transformation system. High resistivity happens in the organization, and even after implementing the system, which is cost millions of dollars to the organization, either the system is bound to fail because of the non-cooperation of the employees, or the management has to take very strict action, and some of the employees has to suffer because of that. So as a leader, to create excellence, what is required to be transforming the organizational culture? That should be the key point. Because unless your organizational culture is not being part of your excellence, your company will not be excellence, and you cannot be called a leadership with excellence. Because you are a leader with a leadership role, responsibility. When I talk about leadership, the best definition for me as a leader is leadership is all being about responsible and responsible to yourself. So if you are a responsible leader, you bring the responsibility for your roles and responsibility in the organization. And if you are a responsible leader, you bring the same responsibility to the next level of management, your leadership team, and that responsibility cascade down through the bottom level of the organization to second level and first level of management and staffs. So making people responsible for what they do and what they supposed to deliver as a result is the very key factor for bringing the organizational effectiveness or organizational excellence. How to make people responsible? This is very critical question. See, without having a proper process or proper system, you cannot bring or you cannot make people responsible for what they are doing and what they're supposed to be deliver. And this plays a very important role. In India, where majority of the companies are SME, owners driven organization, we have all worked, we all three comes from a corporate background and we are into coaching for a long time. We all know it is not the new story. When an organization is headed by a family owned business, it becomes a one man show. In a country like India, most of the time your organization grows because of the demand and supply, not because of your own excellence or excellence of your company. Because it's a huge population, 1.4 billion people lives in India. 1/6 of the population of the world lives in India. Anything you produce, if you are able to reach to the market, to the consumer, it sells. So if you are in a production of some good and services, and if you are able to reach your customer, you will be able to sell. The real challenge comes when you start growing, when you have to work for corporate governance, when you have to have compliances, when you have to abide by the law, statutory law. And in my last discussion also I have shared, in 2017-18 one law has come, the Insolvency Act, and thousands of the company in India has become bankrupt. 10,000 crore, 20,000 crore companies, they become bankrupt and insolvent. If that law has not come in, they would have still continued. How? Unethical practices. So we cannot call that as an organizational excellence and leadership excellence. You are stealing the money of country to the unprivileged people for the government, and if you are using it, your employee will be also learn that, and wherever they will get an opportunity, they will try to steal at the position by not performing and being responsible for their job, for their responsibility, for their KRA, for their performance. So the role of a leader is very important in creating the organizational culture where each and every employee in the organization feels responsible. When we say responsibility, two more words are very important. Responsibility comes with a resource, which is very, very, very important. A lot of people, they are not able to understand this. Even the owners, business leaders are not able to understand this. I will explain you with the example. You bring a finance manager, you are paying 1 lakh plus of salary to that person. He is responsible for the finance department, but if he has to sign a voucher of 500 rupees, he has to go to the owner. He is responsible, but he is not resourceful. So if you are not empowered with the resource, how you can be responsible? If even 500 rupees voucher is signed by the owner, let the owner be responsible. ये आदमी फाइनेंस मैनेजर इज ओनली रिस्पॉन्सिबल बाय नेम, वो सिर्फ नाम का रिस्पॉन्सिबल है, किताब में दिखाने के लिए रिस्पॉन्सिबल है, वेबसाइट पे दिखाने के लिए रिस्पॉन्सिबल है, बट असल डिसीजन इज टेकन बाय द बिजनेस ओनर. आइदर दे आर फूलिंग देमसेल्फ और fooling the whole organization. One day, that kind of organizations are going to become bankrupt. Many of the listed company in NASDAQ in India, I won't want to name here, they become bankrupt and insolvent. And there are thousands. So, two things I would like to share again, and I will say something more, and then we will have the closing session. Ki responsibility has to be to the bottom level of the people, and even the people till the bottom level, the level 1, level 2, level 3, how much level of leadership or employeeship you have in organization, every person has to be responsible for their work. Responsibility has to be supported with the resource, and when I say resource, it has to be by the authority, some kind of authority. You have been appointed as a HR director of a company, and when you need to hire a secretary, or when you need to hire a accountant, you have to get the approval from the boss. What kind of responsibility you are having? You might hire somebody, you might select somebody, and it will go to boss, he will reject it. Then what is the use of you being the HR head or recruitment head or human resource manager in that organization? So you will never feel responsible, and you are also going to be part of that culture in your department and function. You will not able to make people responsible and accountable with resource. These two factors are not part of the organizational culture. You are not going to create a culture where people feel empowered, delegated, responsible, accountable with resource. If these three things are there in the organization at all level, the people in the organization will start creating the world-class culture, world-class organizational culture in the organization, which will be driven by bottoms up. It is not from top to down, it will be down to top. And that is going to sustain for a longer term, irrespective who is the leader, who is the manager, who is the senior person. Because as Prakash was sharing, leadership is not about being a title. Everybody is a leader. Leadership is the capability of a person who has the capability to empower, transform things, and add value to the life of the people and the organization. If you are able to add value, in your work, in your organization, with your colleagues, with your subordinates, with your superiors, you are a leader, and you don't require to be a title of being a CXO or a manager. Irrespective, you are the junior most staff of an organization, still you have a leadership capability, and you can add value in creating the culture in the organization, who can create an excellence organizational environment. And then the leader who is managing that kind of organization can be called a leadership with excellence. Otherwise, if your organization is not having the excellence, if your team is not having the excellence, if your bottom level people doesn't have the excellence, kahe ka excellence here? Why you are excellence leader? Just for a title or the salary you are drawing it? No. People never follow those kind of leaders. People never recognize those kind of leader. You can be a leader by authority, by threat, by differentiation, by creating disputes to the people, and you can manage the people, but that will be temporarily. That is not going to last. And top of that, if you are that kind of person, you are never going to have satisfaction and fulfillment in your life. You are always going to have regret and regrets, nothing else. Even saying yourself as a leader will made you experience the regret inside you if you are that kind of a leader. So I always say, become a leader with responsibility. Try to empower people, try to transform people at end of the level in the organization, to be responsible, to be accountable, to be resourceful. This is very important, because accountability and responsibility doesn't work without resource. And then only you can become a leadership or a leader with excellence. Coming towards something, how to create that kind of leaders with excellence, Suresh and Prakash, it is very difficult. Just by getting the certificate from higher management institute doesn't make you that kind of leader. Certificate you are getting from the brilliant institutes, branded institute, is the receipt of the money you have paid to the organization to get the certificate. It is nothing worth more than that. If you are able to empower the people, transform the people, create the structure, then you are a leader. At India Coaching Federation, we have a specialized program to empower and transform leader, which helps people to discover your leadership within. We have a research-based, scientifically developed program where the business leader, CXOs, they come and they are able to discover themselves, whether they are leader or not, and if not, they have the opportunity to discover their capability to empower, transform, and create a future business leader of themselves. So we encourage, whether you are certified or not certified, whether you are MBA from a big organization or not, doesn't matter. Leadership doesn't require any certification. Leadership doesn't require any title. Leadership doesn't require any recognition by any other people. It is your own experience of being a leader. How being a leader is satisfying and fulfilling for you. If being a leader is not satisfying and fulfilling to you, then what kind of leader you are? Better you should not be a leader, and you should try to become a leader to discover a leadership inside you. That's all I would like to share, Suresh, at this stage, because it's already more than 30 minutes. Rest of
Yeah.
the session, we can take it as a continuation in our next program, and our viewers would love to listen this, and we can continue with this. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Gautam. It was very, insightful and inspirational presentation, and the thought-provoking, the processes that you talked about, the kind of leadership that exists, any of the organizations in the world. Uh, the major takeaway from Prakash's presentation was what are the different qualities that a leader should bear, should hold in order to, exercise his command and to get the best out of the people from his team. And if I really sum up from Dr. Gautam's presentation, two things have emerged. One is the power of transformation and the self-discovery. And when leader try to discover himself or herself, the best elements of leadership get exhibited, and that's awesome presentation. So thank you very much, both Prakash as well as Dr. Gautam, for your wonderful presentation, insightful thoughts, and I'm sure today viewers got a lot of key takeaways in terms of what the things like leadership excellence is all about, and how if at all one has to take the business to the next level, what are the qualities that every leader must possess. So with this, I'm again thankful to India Coaching Federation for providing me this opportunity as a host of this event, and again I'm thankful to both the guests here for their quality time in spite of having their other priorities in their business, in their life. Still they have devoted their quality time. That speaks volume about the commitment as a coaches, as a founders, as a visionaries, those who are looking forward to build a nation to the extent that it emerges as a strong global power. That's the beauty of this presentation, and I'm also thankful to the viewers for their quality time, and we'll keep this journey on, and let's look forward what best we can carry this message from the talk show on leadership. So thank you very much, Dr. Gautam and Prakash. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Suresh. It's our responsibility to
Yeah.
reach to the people and tell them how we can help the people to empower and transform their life, career, business, to take it to the next level of growth and profitability. So we have to find out the time and we have to reach to the
Yeah.
audience. Thanks
And
a
we'll
lot.
take snap photograph. Let me please allow. So please have a smile. I'll take a photograph right now. Thank you.